Okay, so what I want you to do first is you're gonna need a tennis ball or a similar object. You can use a harder ball or a smaller ball if you need more, or you can use a bigger ball or a softer ball if you need less. Tennis ball is right in the middle, so if you want more and use a golf ball, it'll be more pinpoint. The first thing you're gonna do is just roll out your foot. So as you go along, I find that the best thing is to go super, super slow, and then you can find those places that make you like, whoa, okay, there's a spot. I'm gonna hold it there, I'm gonna breathe. So I'm feeling it in a certain spot, I'm gonna hold it there, I'm gonna breathe for about 30 seconds. So the more you do this, you'll find different places that you want to address, and sometimes for me it's different every time I do it, and sometimes it's consistently in the same spot. But you just want to go very slow when you're exploring for those spots that you want to release. I also have a massage ball. It's similar to the size of a tennis ball. I don't know if it's in here or if it's downstairs because I use it. Oh, here it is. It's called a therapy ball, and it's a little bit harder. It's like a hard like foam, but very hard. So it's a little bit harder than the tennis ball, but it's not as tough as the golf ball. Golf ball is like, oh my gosh. But any sore or places that you just like, whoa, there's a sore spot, you wanna just hold and breathe. So take your time exploring and take your time holding. So 30 seconds it takes for your muscle to release, and then search for another spot. So it definitely spend some time rolling out your foot. Our foot has tons of little muscles, little tendons, and all of those things can get inflamed. So especially when you're doing a lot of load and you're training for something really cool. So make sure you take your time doing your release. Tennis ball, therapy ball, golf ball. The bigger the ball, the less it will get into those places, and the smaller ball, the more it will get into those places. So take your time. You can also roll it faster, but when I do this, I usually go super slow, find a spot, and breathe. And breathe. And then usually the pain will go away slowly, and then maybe I can get into it a little bit more, or maybe I'll just roll it one little millimeter one way or the other, and then breathe. It'll feel a little something again, and then you have to just breathe it out. So that is gonna be the first thing you're gonna do. The second thing is to roll out your calves. So you're gonna do it similarly. You can do this with a ball underneath. I like to put it on the meaty part of the calf first, and then come over the top if I need more. Again, you've got to kind of search for that spot that is tight or sore. So our calves sometimes can play parts in our ankles being tight or stiff or sore, which can in return affect our feet. So we definitely want to make sure that we're hitting our calves. So I found a super tight spot. I'm going to flex my toes back and then relax. Flex into it and then relax. I can feel the ball moving. Flex in and relax, and then just breathe. Again, if I need more, I can put a little bit of weight on that ball. And then I'm gonna move to another spot. So don't just find one spot and then be done, but make sure you explore around a little bit. If you're not tight or sore in that area, then you don't have to hold it. Don't waste your time doing something that's not tight or sore. So, there's a spot. So relax, point your toe, relax, flex, relax, and breathe. Flex, relax. Another awesome way I like to use the ball with the calves is actually on a chair. So if I throw my calf on the ball, on the chair, like so, ta-da, then it's gonna get into it even more. So sometimes it's not quite enough on the floor. It might be for you, that's fine. And sometimes you just need a little bit more. I would do it on the chair, okay? So So definitely spend 30 seconds or so on every tight or sore spot, and then kind of make a mental note of where your tight spots are, and you can address them consistently, but do spend some time exploring. All right, next you can also use a rolling pin to roll out those calves. You can use a rolling pin that you have in your kitchen also for cookies if you don't have one like this. It works just the same. So you're gonna roll out all those calves, make sure you get down towards the Achilles also, and also along the front of the shin, not on the shin, but on that meaty part. Make sure you're rolling out all of the calf muscle, okay? And again, you can use your rolling pin, same thing. Now we want to do the other side to make it even. Same thing you would do to make cookies, okay? Pulling up, and then you're pulling in along that anterior tibialis, front of your shin there. Pull up, push in, rolling all of that out. All right, awesome. So then we're gonna do a couple stretches. The first one is an ankle dorsiflexion. So coming from a kneeling, I like to start in this position, and then you're just gonna walk forward, walk that knee in. So what we're working on is our dorsal flexion here. The more this is flexible, the easier it is for our foot and our ankle, and also you're gonna get a foot stretch here too. So you're gonna come all the way forward. Now maybe you can't get that much mobility, then you can do it against the wall and just come in as far as is comfortable for you. So maybe you don't have the flexibility to go all the way down. That's okay. You can do it against the wall, just coming in as far as you can, okay? So you're gonna come in, roll in to your knee and out, or you can do it on the wall, just maybe 10 or so times. We're doing this one kind of in motion, so you're working that mobility, dorsal flexion in a dynamic way, moving in motion. That bottom leg can just kind of come along for the ride, the back leg. So dorsal flexion, or again, just up against the wall, then you can catch yourself. And you can do however much flexibility you have. So working your range of motion. Next is down dog. Tuck those toes, press those hips up, press that tailbone up, press your heart through, and then work on those heels coming down to the mat. That's gonna stretch out your calves more. So you can come up onto your toes, scoop that tailbone high, press your heart through, and then work on lowering those heels down towards the mat. Again, stop where you need to stop, work in your range of motion. Then you're gonna engage your core. You're gonna come back to a tabletop. Keep those toes tucked. You're gonna sit back in a toe crunch, okay? At the end of this, you can sit here longer, but when you're doing it at the beginning, you can work it in motion. So hands down, tuck the toes. You're going from down dog to toe crunch. So down dog, whee, tailbone high to toe crunch. Sitting back, down dog, press those heels down to toe crunch. Maybe about 10 of these, down dog to toe crunch. All right, awesome. So once you're finished with that, we're gonna work on some activation. First one is, it doesn't look like I'm doing a lot. I'm gonna rock your feet inward towards the weight onto your big toe, and then rock out towards your pinky toe. My heels are also still on the ground. So I'm going inside to outside, okay? Doesn't look like I'm doing a lot. Inside, outside. Inside, outside. Not a huge range of motion, just working on the mobility and stability of the feet and the ankles. If any of this flares up your pain, then don't do that one. Do all the rest that don't, okay? So in and out, do a few of those. Next, we're gonna do heel walks. So you're gonna just walk, stiff legs on your heels. You're firing up the anterior tibialis. Again, if you feel any pain, just don't do that one. All right, heel walks. Just walk around for a little bit of time. Another one to fire up that anterior tibialis, front of the shin, is to do toe taps. So sitting down, you're just simply going to lift the toes, set them down. This is it. Doesn't feel like a lot for the first 5. And then it's like, oh, yeah, it's burning. So you're working the front of the shin muscle, okay? Also activating a lot in your feet. All right, cool. So you get those. And then last but not least, we do calf raise circles. Use the wall for this because it's not about the balance, it's about rolling in the calf raise. So you're gonna go into a calf raise, you're gonna roll towards the pinky side of your foot and then down. Then you're gonna go up on the pinky toe side of the foot, roll through every toe knuckle and down on your big toe. Up on the big toe, roll through every toe knuckle to the pinky and down. Up on the pinky, roll through the big toe and down. Up on the big, roll all the way, down on the pinky. Up on the pinky, roll, 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 down on the big. Good, I would do this 10 or so times. Again, if this is hurting, then do all the release things first, and then you can do those activations once you're feeling a little bit better. Then after you finish those activations, I would do the releases again. So roll out your feet, roll out your calves, and then when you do your down dog to toe crunch, at the end you can sit on the toe crunch longer, and I would definitely recommend that for opening up your feet. So toe crunch doesn't seem like a lot when you first get here, but it's one of those that just really builds, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I need to come out of this. So give yourself a little time in toe crunch, and then I would definitely say if you can mix in things that will alter your foot placement rather than just running, use the stair mill. In the pool, I don't know if you've seen those blue belts that you can use. The aqua aerobics ladies use them, and they kind of float you. You can use that and just run in the deep end. Like, you don't go anywhere. It's horribly boring. But you can get your heart rate elevated, and it'll keep you in shape while you're giving your foot a rest. So I would definitely recommend that if your foot doesn't feel better soon, so that you can give it time to heal before your race, but you can still stay in shape. And then mixing in the spin bike, maybe doing a spin bike class, or just jumping on the bike and giving a little efforts for 5 minutes, 2 minutes break, effort for 5 minutes, 2-minute break. And same thing on the stair mill. After you're done with your toe crunch, woo, that was a long time, I'm going to release my toes and tap them on the mat. Should feel really good. And one more stretch I'm going to show you is to stretch out that anterior tibialis. You can do a wider knee here. You're going to toes on the mat, and then you're going to sit back and lift those knees up slightly. So you can lift those knees, you'll feel that stretch across the front. Oh, especially after those toe taps and stuff, just feel really good. All right, and then I would definitely use your rolling pin a lot on those calves, anterior tibialis also, and roll out those feet. So let me know if you have any questions on any of this or anything else, but just listen to your body. If it's pain, then it's painful for a reason. Maybe just taking some ibuprofen is going to help, and then it's not inflamed anymore. And it sometimes is good to go after that. I know for me, that happens, periodically. I'll get a pain, I'll take ibuprofen kind of heavily for the first 3 days, just to see if I can get rid of it. And then if it doesn't go away right away, then while doing all my release moves and all that stuff, then I'll definitely give it a break. So see if the step mill or elliptical is better on it, and then you can use those, mix those in, maybe also with some spin bike. Good luck on your training.